everybody. Welcome back to Beautytainment Podcast, episode 3, with your host, Claudia and...
Roundy. Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you happen to have heard our last episode, I would say it wasn't the greatest.
Let's just say somebody woke up choosing war that morning.
It was me.
Yeah, it was her.
It was me. I chose war.
Somebody woke up on the spicy side of the bed.
It was super spicy.
It was almost
a spicy
it was almost a solo podcast.
Me or you?
it was gonna be you.
I think we did okay.
I almost Randy fucking savaged you and body slammed your ass before we came on here.
Yeah, so that is not kinky, you guys. It's quite violent. Anyway, so we're okay now. We both made it. We're alive.
It's been a rough morning for me though.
Yeah.
To be honest, man. I was going over stuff on my computer and I was mixing a drink, spilled the water all over my computer, my hard drives, and it was a rough start.
I feel like when you have your clumsy days, I just have to stay away from you.
Oh man, the clumsy days are the worst though.
I was like, I'm just gonna be in my room.
Yeah, just stay in your room 1 week.
Because then you get spicy.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay for me to get spicy because I'm a spicy Latina.
Oh, you're always spicy.
Yeah.
You're like born spicy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's what attracted you to me.
Yeah, it was
my spice
It was all the
level.
spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, that looks like it tastes good, but then a little hot sometimes.
You're like, all the spice, where's everything nice? But here we are. We have endured.
Yeah, we're back and it's a good day. We got a little one that's sick with us, so if you hear coughing or see a little head pop up, it's our little rugrat here.
And if you're a business owner and you have kids and stuff, you know what it's like. Fortunately, though, because we work for ourselves, we can take our children, even if we don't want to. We can take them wherever we want and everything. It's like this weekend, right? So this weekend, we're going to McAllen.
Oh, yeah, McAllen.
Yeah. So I'm teaching out there, and our junior artist, who is an expert at laminations, she's teaching out there also. And it's kind of cool because we get to take like a mini vacation, and it's a write-off.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We've never been to McAllen, so it's gonna be our first time down in that area. We'll see what it is.
Have we been to McAllen?
No, we've never been down there.
No?
We've been to South Padre Island, but not
Oh,
McAllen.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Did we drive through it maybe?
Nah, it's like... It's
See,
off
I
the
have
way.
no idea. So if you know me, you know that I don't even know how to get home from here, and we've been here a few times.
I'm actually curious about eating the food down there. Everybody says the food in the valley is really good.
I feel like it is. I feel like everybody says it's more Mexican, less Tex-Mex.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Well, we went to Corpus, right? And that was good.
The mariscos in Corpus were pretty good.
Yes,
Yeah.
man, that's my shit right there.
We'll see if we find some good mariscos over there this weekend.
Yeah, so it's been hectic. So maybe with that kerfuffle that you had this morning, it's it's because you have a lot of things going on. You have to get us ready, ready for a class, and it's two classes.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot. Let's just say there's a lot going on.
On top of dealing with a spicy Latina,
That I feel like that's the fun part.
straight spicy hyena.
I feel like that's a fun part for you though. Like you have all these things going on, and you're like, you know what? I have a spicy Latina.
I want a taco with a little salsa, but you can't put too much heat on that fucking taco for me.
Anyway, so today we're gonna talk about ads.
Oh, ads. Yeah.
Yeah. So getting back to the subject that we wanted to talk about. So I actually, so when we were in California, I never ran ads, right?
A little bit, but not like we do now.
Not like
Nothing-
really. I feel like
yeah.
I didn't see not the importance of it, but I didn't really, nobody in our industry did it really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a thing. And I think back then our industry was just growing like the permanent makeup industry.
Yeah.
So nobody really took it seriously or made it part of their business, you know?
You, to be honest, you had so much word of mouth clientele that you really didn't need to run ads.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
But also, I think had you been running ads I think the social media following would be like 100 times than what it is now. You know?
Yeah. I've just, like me, like I've never been, and I know it's social proof, but I've never been one to chase likes or chase followers or do any of that shit or trying to go viral or you know what I mean? But I understand that number is social proof in a sense.
Yeah.
And so like, had we done ads, I'm sure things would have been a little different.
Yeah.
You know?
We're also in a different time now. Now social media has taken over. At that time, social media was just kind of getting started, and people were.
Yeah.
You didn't have everybody doing dances and shit on there,
Yeah, but I feel like now in our industry, a lot of the people still don't see that they have to do ads.
No, you know what? There's a funny story. So, there's a taco truck that we like going to. You know which one I'm talking about? Right on the corner. Like our kids go to jiu-jitsu stuff. So Friday nights.
Oh, the little red one.
Yeah, they get off late, and we don't want to go home and cook, and it's right there. And they got bomb ass food. To be honest, the food's really good.
It's really good.
But it's never really packed, and the people are so nice. And I was talking to him one day, and I was like, oh hey, the social media stuff, and I asked him like, oh, do you do ads? And he told me, what did he say? I said I tried it once. I did $5, but I didn't get nothing out of it. Oh man, I wanted to shake him like, bro, $5.
Yeah.
And then one time, it takes consistency. You got to keep going.
Well, and it's like the right people will see it at the right time, but you gotta keep doing it. You know, it's not like one and done. And so one of the things you and I talk about all the time, it's like, okay, yeah, you're maybe you ran an ad, but you still have to build those relationships. Like just because they follow you doesn't mean like, oh my God, this is a person for the best person on the face of the planet. Let me go get a service from them.
Yeah, and when they see your ad, they're gonna go check out your profile. What's on your profile? Like what invites them in?
Yeah.
What makes them feel like they know you? And then not only that, it's a long-term strategy. It's not short-term. You don't throw it out there and all of a sudden expect like everybody to rush in. It's not that case where you build it and they come. That's not how it works. It's long-term.
Yeah, and I feel like especially in our industry, and I know I keep saying this, but it's just I'm like so in tune with what my industry is looking at and doing. And I feel like in our industry, it's not like unless you're this big corporate salon or a big, huge business, none of us do it. Like all the small businesses are like small businesses. And you know what I always tell people, like when people ask for my advice, it's like treat your small business like a big business.
No, you have to, you have to, and you have to invest in your product. Like nobody else is going to invest in your product if you don't. And if you're not willing to put money in front of your product, there's nothing going to come out of it. You got to invest in it, push it. And it takes money. You know that saying that it takes money to make money? They're not lying. I mean, I think a lot of people, they build something, they're like, oh, I built this. Everybody's going to come. Oh, I have so many friends and family. But friends and family are the last ones to walk through your fucking door.
That's true. And I feel like even just to put a number on it is weird for people. You know what I mean? Like they'll say like, oh, I spent like $50 or $100. And like big businesses don't operate that way. Big businesses have a marketing budget specifically for ads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we were listening just to Alex Hormozi.
Yeah, Hormozi.
Guy. And so he was saying how many leads he got from his ads, and I think it was like 120,000 or something like that.
Nah, it was more. That was just on one platform.
I couldn't remember. It was like it was a ton of people.
Yeah.
And so like we understand that, you know, like leads just means people are interested.
Yeah.
Okay. So you put out an ad, right? And they go to your profile and they're like, oh, okay, she does, a good job. Let me give her a follow. But now, after that, you still have to harvest a relationship and you have to build a relationship with the people.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. What kind of content do you have on your page? Because as soon as they see the ad, they're not going to just go buy. They're going to go look at your content and they want to see who you are, what you're about. And if it's just pictures of your work and they don't even know what you look like, you're not educating them, there's nothing like drawing them in, they're just going to turn away and forget that they even saw the ad.
Yeah, and then there's so many of us in any field of our industry. There's a ton of salons, a ton of hairdressers, estheticians, permanent makeup artists. Like, how are you standing out? You know?
Yeah.
I was talking to a gal who I did a social media audit for. So I looked at her social media and I was trying to help. She needed my help. So, I talked to her. And so one of the things that I said was, okay, so how are you building your own clientele? Her issue was that she went from making about $7,000 is what she said, to about making half of that in a month, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, so what are you doing? She's like, well, I had to get a part-time job, and it's like, oh my God, that's the time when you push and you push on ads.
Yeah, because you're taking away a full-time thing that you're doing and making it part-time, and you're not going to get a full-time, what's the word I'm looking for? Return. You're not going to get a full-time return.
Like your ROI. Yeah.
That we've been in that situation. We've been there before where it's like, fuck, man. Is this the right decision? Are we going to make it? And we just like put our head down and like, fuck it, let's go. And you just push harder at that time, And
that's really hard for me.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to spend money when I don't see, during our slow season. But it's like, and we talked about this, how our slow season is everybody else's slow season. So there's less people putting out ads. So that's a perfect time to increase your ads.
That's the best time because when everybody's pulling back, you should be hitting the gas and going forward.
Yeah.
Because when it is slow in these seasons, they get less clientele and everything. and they start pulling back. But you got to remember the ad you put out today, those clients are watching. They're watching. They might not come in during the holidays or the slow time, but as soon as stuff starts picking back up, they're gonna remember you and they're gonna come in. So it's long term.
It's a relationship building.
Yeah, it's and then say they do reach out to you and ask for information. Like, how's your customer service? How are you responding to them? Are you giving them information? Because a lot of if you just answer one response, like, I'm trying to think.
Like, how do you mean?
You know, when they reach out and they ask for information.
Oh, okay. When they're like info.
Yeah, info. and if you just reply with the info and there's nothing in there to foster a relationship, then you're dropping the ball. You gotta bring them in, make them feel comfortable, and like give them information on top of like selling the dream. They're reaching out to you because they want something. So you gotta have them envision what they want.
And I think just for me, I know that when I take advanced courses, and I know that when I take advanced courses, like I'll follow them first, right? So on social media, and I usually don't check websites. I'm just not one of those persons. I go off with social media. And so what I'll do is I'll go and check their social media, and I feel like if I can connect, then I'll follow them. Okay. But then I got to see what they're about. I got to see if they are up to par from somebody I want to work with.
Yeah.
Or learn from.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can learn from them, if they're using the ink that I like. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So I think there was a gal who I took a class from. And so I had followed her, I think maybe for a year and a half. And I had reached out to her a year before. She had an assistant. She sent me all her information. It was just, she was fostering a relationship.
Yeah.
And so when I was ready, I ended up taking the class like a year and a half later.
Yeah. Well, how many clients do we get that ask us questions multiple times?
Yeah.
We've been dealing with some client for like this happens quite often for years. And they ask the same questions and they keep coming back, and we keep giving the information, keep telling them we're not pushy about it.
Right.
Just give them the information, let them know everything's okay, and then a year later they end up coming in.
And for me, I feel like that's also like we'll also get the right people coming in.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's talked to me, like I'll tell you, like I don't want the wrong energy in my studio because then it ruins my fucking day.
Yeah, for sure.
As he said earlier, I'm a little spicy.
Yeah, and when she gets spicy, I have to deal with it. So if you got bad energy, don't come in, because then I got to deal with that shit. Yeah.
But it's true, you're not for everybody. We have like a niche clientele that does, it's a certain type of clientele. So I feel like we build a relationship on both sides.
Yeah.
So I want to work with you, but only if we can work together to create something.
Yeah.
If it's a one-sided relationship, that's just not going to work.
Well, speaking about that, like business, if you have a business, your business is not about you. It's about your clientele.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Your business is about your clientele, not yourself. If you're just worried about yourself or what you like, then like you probably shouldn't be in business, because you're in the service industry and it's for other people.
Yeah. I mean, and I have some like qualms with that, because I want to have things my way, but at the same time, like I know I want to be of service.
Yeah.
And when you want to be of service, you automatically are saying everything's not about me.
Yeah.
So then you have to, it's like you always tell me that you have to change your mindset around
your perspective. It's all about perspective. Right. Yeah.
Oh, another thing that I was telling you, like when I was on that business audit call, on the coaching call. So she mentioned, so I asked her, like, so how are you getting your clients and stuff? And like, after she told me that, so I said, how are you getting your clients? Or how did you get to that point where you were making that amount of money?
Yeah.
And so she says, it's from word of mouth. And I know word of mouth is important, but it's so fucking slow.
Yeah.
Like, who has time for that? I'm not a patient person. I'm not going to wait like 6 years till your aunt decides to come in because she's been like, no, there's people out there that are ready, and they just have to find you. That's it, And so that word of mouth thing, I feel like it's still important.
Yeah,
and you still got to harvest those relationships. And it's important that you do get referrals, but you got to think past that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like the ads do that.
The ads are a big component of it. Mm-hmm. You got to think outside the box too. It's not just ads. You could put out an ad, but what does that ad look like? Mm-hmm. What is it telling them? What is it getting across to your clients, your potential clients? There's more. You got to put out something good and then make an ad. But you got to remember, you put out today an ad out today, you might not see the return for 3-6 months.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how often I have to say this, but it's a long-term strategy.
And like, who's to say that the very first ad that you do, you got it right?
No.
You know, so I am out of the mindset now where I think, okay, well, how come it didn't work? No. It's not that it didn't work. I didn't work. There's something that I somewhere floundered.
Yeah.
And there's a hole in between my client and me. Like, I got to fill in that hole.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? What could I change potentially in the next one?
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of ads.
Well, you gotta mess around with it. You gotta see what works.
Right.
And then when something works, it'll work for a little bit, and then it's gonna change, and you're gonna have to change it up because what's working today isn't gonna work tomorrow.
Yeah. And especially in our industry.
Yeah, it's always changing.
You know, it's always changing.
Yeah.
So you remember those really bright colored like collages people were doing?
Yeah.
Like, what was it, like 5 years ago?
I don't even think it was that far back.
Maybe 4 years, but
Yeah.
it was like everybody had a bunch of colors, and not people weren't really branding, but it was a bunch of colors, a bunch of stuff going on, and at that time that worked.
Yeah.
And so I feel now, and you'll have to give me your take on it, but I feel like now we're kind of moving away from that, and things are looking cleaner.
Yeah.
There's less color. There's more definition in branding. There's like the logos are getting less crazy. You know what I'm saying? It used to be fucking like all over the place.
It's getting a little cleaner and tighter.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I see that, it was working a year ago, 6 months ago, was everybody doing the little spoof voiceovers.
Yeah.
I think everybody's still doing it now, but I think it's kind of like people are getting tired of seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people want to see more your real personality and what you really have to say.
And to that point, another gal that I was coaching this week, I had a few coaching calls this week, but another gal that was helping, we both went over her profile because we were helping her with the social media audit. And so when we went over her profile, you can tell she had like a great personality.
Oh, yeah,
she put herself out there,
what you're
with the
talking
one with a lot of stuff going on her logo. And so you could tell she had a great personality. She wasn't afraid to put herself out there and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was all those voiceovers. And it was like, I don't get to see your personality in this. And that's a way of creating an ad for free.
Yeah.
And so now I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, her personality kind of shined through, and like the way she did the voiceovers and everything, it was good. But still, I still want to know who you are and what you have to say for yourself,
Yeah.
When I go to a profile, I want to that stuff's good. You got to sprinkle it in here and there.
What
but the voiceovers and the dancing and all the little, I don't even know what to call them, but whatever it is. But you should do it because they're fun. If they're funny and fun, sprinkle them in. But it can't be every single thing. That's all you have.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a form of an ad as well.
It is.
I guess everything on your social media is an ad.
Yeah.
But I think so when we did our taxes for 2022, yeah,
2022.
I think in 2022 we spent about 40 grand.
It was in the 40,000 range.
Yeah, so it's 40,000, and I don't even remember what we spent the year before. So, but anyway, so when we first got here, we did a bunch of ads, and as you know, we're just entering our third year.
Yeah.
So our first year we did a bunch of ads, and I think within, I want to say 7 months, we hit our first 100K.
Yeah, that we
right?
In revenue.
In revenue
Yeah.
from just a San Antonio clientele.
Just in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And then the 40,000, we got to get better on the numbers and see what the actual return was, but I know the 40,000 we invested was a good investment because we got everything back. And this year, to be honest, I would rather I want to be at 100,000 spending in ads. That's the goal.
Man. Yeah. Well, so the thing is, like, we have skilled.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we spend 40,000 and I'm teaching and I'm a practitioner and a technician, well, now we have
teammates now.
Yeah. So now it's 4 of us.
Yeah.
And 4 of us are service providers. So it's like, yeah, we gotta increase it. And I know 100,000 sounds like a lot, which it's a lot of money. But we definitely we probably should be there in 2024.
Yeah, I think we'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
But even just because you have ads going, you got to bring value to the table. Behind that ad, there has to be value that you're bringing to people. It's not about you. It's about what kind of value you're bringing to them and how you're improving their life.
Yeah. Because I think an ad does really well for the interest level, right? So they see the ad and you're creating interest.
It's just a funnel. The ad is a funnel to get them to your page. And then at your page, you have to deliver.
Yeah.
Like all around. Value, education, entertainment. Inspiration. And they have to connect with you. And if you just have pictures of your work, you're not showing your personality, how are they going to connect with you?
Yeah, or the ones that are like super cringy. You know what I'm talking about? Like and I know a lot of girls do this in the esthetician world. I know. And so I might hit a nerve here. But a lot of the girls that are doing Brazilian waxing, and I know I mentioned it a few times, right?
Yeah.
And now we're going on, like, I'm going on a whole tangent. But the girls that do the Brazilian waxing and either show the strip or like the before and after, like, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
So for me, I like the way I kind of think about the posting is, is this ad worthy?
Yeah.
Because everything in there is an ad, right? So if this can be an ad and I can spend money so people can see this, if I can spend, let's just say like $50 and everybody in the world's going to see it, is this what I want to put out?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then you should probably not post it.
Yeah, and the thing, the ones that are like they're putting themselves out there. You got to give them tip your hat to them because they're putting themselves out there on camera and everything, and they're trying to educate, but there's like no personality behind it. It sounds like a robot reading a script. That's like, you can't connect with that.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that a little bit.
I think when you first started, I think you got out of that though. I think you're doing really good.
And you know what I think the shift was, that we had to start all over here.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that I was doing in California for years and years just wasn't working anymore. I was an established artist. I came in at a really right time, at the right time, essentially. And so when we got here, it was like, okay, well, we're starting from scratch. And we didn't do too bad, but a lot of that has to do with the ads that we were putting out.
Yeah, and Rona changed the market, and then TikTok came in. TikTok completely changed the market for a while. Yeah. I think it's going away from that style now, from the TikTok style.
Like, what do you mean, like the dancing or
the
what?
dancing and all the little gimmicks? But it did change the market, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
People's attention span, everything changed.
It like decreased.
Yeah, so when you put an ad out, you got to get to the point, be entertaining. It's got to look nice, but you got to be quick. Nobody's gonna sit there and listen to you for 10 minutes in, and you don't get to the good stuff until 9 minutes in. You know what I mean?
So I've been reading Never Eat Alone.
Yeah.
What's his name? Well,
I can't think of
I can't remember his name, but it's Never Eat Alone. So in there, I'm kind of towards the end, and he's talking about how people's attention span changed.
Yeah.
So before, the president used to be able to do like a 48-second spiel.
Those were the fireside chats and stuff, right? Or are you talking about just in?
I have no idea what
speeches?
that is.
The fireside chats. I think it was FDR used to sit down and like address America directly. Like, it was almost like he had a podcast back in the
day.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he was saying that the politicians now, the presidential candidates, get like 48 seconds to like do their spiel, and so now they're down to like 15 or 18 seconds. So you have a lot less time to capture an audience than you did before. And so can you imagine now with the tiki-takis and like after the Rona and everything kind of changed, the consumer behavior changed. Like now you have to do more to capture less attention.
Yeah.
Because even the ads are more expensive.
Oh, yeah. The ads, they were cheap for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like we were talking about on the last one, the commercials. Remember how expensive commercials were?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Commercials were so expensive. And now we have social media. It's cheap. But you could see the viewership and the reach that you get now is starting to decrease, and the cost is going up a little bit. But it's still relatively cheap compared to commercials and the way you used to have to do it.
Is there anybody who you think that wouldn't benefit from ads, from just running ads, I would say?
I think...
Like what industry?
What industry wouldn't benefit?
Yeah. Everybody, right?
I can't see any industry that wouldn't benefit from ads. You want to, whatever your service or product is, you want to put it out to as many people as you can. It's a numbers game. So if 1 million people see your product, you're going to get a percentage of that 1 million people. But if you're only 10 people are only seeing your product, only the people that follow you and see your product all the time, I mean, who are you reaching? You're not reaching outside the bubble that's already there watching you.
Yeah, and the way I like to think about it is like, okay, well, you have so we have a few thousand followers, right?
Yeah.
So on Instagram or everything all together. And so if you kind of think about it, like if you have to talk to all these people at the same time, you have to put the best thing out there.
Yeah.
So everything that you put out there has to be like the best thing ever. And sometimes that's hard for me, because I'm really stringent about my content schedule and my calendar. But everything has to be ad worthy.
Yeah, and to be honest, we could do better on the stuff we're putting out. We're getting better as we go, I think.
Yeah.
But it's constantly changing, so you have to stay with it. And then another thing, somebody puts out something viral and everybody jumps on that bandwagon and chasing it. And I think ourselves, we got to figure out a way to be at the forefront of the trend instead of playing catch up on the trends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I'm just not like a very, like not I don't want to say not a trendy person, but it's like, God, like this trend's dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it.
No, you shouldn't do it. If you don't like it and you think it's dumb, you shouldn't do it. But there's something we could do that's our own style. And just be yourself and put out your own thing but make it good.
Yeah.
And make it connect. That's essentially what I'm trying to say, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, because you have to you have to turn those people, those followers at the interest level into a purchasing level.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that not everybody's going to follow or not everybody's going to purchase.
No.
But you increase those odds by putting on good content.
Yeah. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
It's all a numbers game. The more eyeballs you have on your stuff, the more you're going to be able to sell and produce, but it has to be good.
So what do you think the ads have helped us with the most? Like, obviously, our follower count went up, of course, because more people see it. My work's this shit. But, like, what do you think it's helped us the most with?
I think scaling. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing is scaling and being able to put our product out to a bigger viewership. And like we're going to McAllen. We've never been to McAllen. We don't have any footing in McAllen, but we put ads in McAllen and we're making classes happen out there. We couldn't have done that without ads.
Yeah. So what happened with the McAllen classes where, so I guess most people from that area come to San Antonio because that's like the closest big city. Well, that's what
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about McAllen.
Well, I've had it from my clients, listening to my clients from McAllen or that area that come to me. They're like, oh, okay, well, this is where I come because there's nothing that big or whatever.
Yeah.
Or nobody's really good, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we started getting a bunch of followers, from McAllen. And like, are you doing a class over here? When are you teaching over here? Do you work over here? And so I was like, you know what? Maybe this is an opportunity on our off season to kind of go meet the people in that area.
Yeah.
And open new roads, because why not?
Well, we do that, and I know it sounds counterproductive, but like we think ahead. So we look at places that we may want to have classes or go do something at, and we'll start putting ads. We might not go there till next year, but we'll start putting like little drip ads in that area. That way we have a following, and we're able, when we want to go out there, we'll be able to go out there and we'll put an ad, and people have already seen our stuff out there. We already have the social proof from that area, and so you don't got to put too much money in it, but like if you plan on doing something outside of your area, you should always do like how would you call it? Like a pre...
It's like an assessment.
Yeah. and see what kind of response you're getting from that area. Is it going to be a good... It's a test. Put out a little... It doesn't have to be much money. Just put out a little and see what kind of response you're getting back and see if there's a market out there for you.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people don't do. They don't research the market. And so... Like, I will tell you that a lot of the work I'm doing out here is a little different than what I would do in California. What we consider natural here isn't considered natural in California or vice versa. So you got to see if whatever it is you're doing, whether you're, possibly doing extensions or you're a wax expert or whatever it is, you got to see if there is a area for you, if that's a place that you can grow. And so I know you and I discussed the drip ads quite a bit because I was kind of against it, because I was like, okay, well, I know some people will drive for me from that area because I've seen it. I have clients from that area or further that drive like hours. But I didn't see the value in getting people from that far away.
I think, I push on a lot of this stuff because I think I see the value in it. It's about building your social proof. It's also building social proof. And you build your profile. It's not only about that though. It's about opening future doors in the future. Say we want to open a studio, we start expanding and scaling, and we want to get outside of San Antonio. We keep our base here, but we want to. That's a way to start building a relationship in those areas and opening something in the future.
And I think we were listening to Ed Milet.
Yeah.
And he was saying like, okay, well, I don't play checkers. I play chess.
Yeah.
So what you see me doing today, if you don't understand it, it's something that I'm doing for 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Like I'm setting myself up for 5 years.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to me, I'll take a bow on that one.
I said Ed Milet.
Ed Milet learned from me.
Oh, okay.
Nah, Ed Milet's a shit though.
But it's true, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so he was saying like a lot of the small business owners, and it's so fucking true. And I don't think we operate that way. I don't think we have operated that way in a long time.
Yeah.
I think the way we operate is like the things that we do now are going to be beneficial for us in 2, 3, or 5 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
It's like I keep saying, it's a long-term game. You can't keep thinking short-term. It's always long-term, which you're setting yourself up for the next move. You got to think like 5 moves. What's that book?
By PBD?
Your next 5 moves.
Your next 5 moves.
You always got to think 5 moves ahead. Okay, if I do this now, it's going to set me up for this. And you just got to keep doing it. It's like leapfrogging to the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that we've been operating for the past few years. So even what we do now is like, okay, well, my North Star is to eventually open up an esthetician school.
Yeah.
Right. So I think what we're doing now, it's slowly kind of leaning into that. And when we're ready, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
Or less hard.
It'll definitely be easier. And you know, we love San Antonio and we love Texas and we want to expand. We would like to open more places around San Antonio and just expand into other cities also. So this is a lead up to it. A lot of the stuff we're doing now is leading up to it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And you know, like scaling to me, the view that I take with scaling is that I really think we're doing something awesome here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of ridiculous stuff going on right now in the beauty industry. You know, people taking advantage of their renters or drama within the industry and shit. I stay away from fucking that. But I think that we have something so good because we treat people like people, and we honestly want our teammates to advance.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if we can take that idea and help other women, you know, be awesome and be great and like do their most potential while being profitable.
Yeah.
Like that is a business that deserves to scale.
Well, we don't just want to win. We want everybody around us to win.
Yeah.
And you have to over deliver on the value you take. And I think we do that like with our classes and everything. Our kits are huge. Nobody else. I haven't seen any other class delivering
For permanent makeup.
I haven't seen anybody else with the kits our size, the material, everything that we put into it. And just the teaching, the access you give to the students, all the coaching, I haven't seen it anywhere. And I think that's part of it is delivering value.
Yeah. And you know what? That's actually with one of the, my past student, I was talking to her yesterday, and you know, she set up an appointment so I could call her because she was having difficulty. A lot of us kind of get our license and then we go, okay, what now?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like we did. Like, I don't have anybody that had entrepreneurship mindset growing up. So it's like, well, shit, who do I talk to? So now that we've been there, I had the student, I had a phone conference with her. And so she's like, okay, well, I'm a licensed esthetician now. And I took your class. Like, literally, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And so I had this long conversation with her about, okay, well, this is what we're gonna set you up in steps. And so this is what you're gonna do first, and then this is what you're gonna do second, and this is how you do it. And I think that's what's lacking in the industry. There's a ton of gatekeeping in our industry.
Well, it's a lot of times it's a money grab. A lot of people are just like, okay, I'll put a class together, I'll get the money, and as soon as I'm done with them, that's it. They're on their own. Like we get a lot of students that reach on, like, I took this class elsewhere. And now when I call them to get some guidance, they ghost them. Nobody answers. Everything they got was like wrong information. It's a lot to it.
Didn't we get a message like that from a gal that said like, oh, they're ghosting me. I took a class with so and so and they leave me unseen.
We get tons of those.
Yeah, but I remember specifically we got one yesterday, right? And I was like, damn, like.
And the problem with that is these girls that are just doing the classes for a money grab, it makes the industry look bad. So these girls, they took the class and they're scared to take a class elsewhere because they think the same thing is going to keep happening to them. So I think it kind of ruins a little bit of the industry. But I think that's our job, is to let people know the value that we're bringing, you know? Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is like create an atmosphere of growth and positivity.
Yeah.
Positivity. And then hope that more people follow, you know. But the only way to do that is to actually do it, and then hopefully people will follow.
Yeah, but none of this would be happening for us if we weren't willing to invest in ourselves and put money into ads.
Thank you for bringing it back, Roundy. But it's true. It all started with us doing ads.
It's a willingness to invest in yourself.
And you know what? And I too think like it helped us learn more about our business. You know what I mean? Like if you just, for example, like when we started doing ads specifically on Facebook or Instagram, you had to put an age for your clientele.
Yeah.
Right. And so I had to be like, first we were open like, oh, everybody, men,
everybody.
women, and everybody, right? Just like throw it out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, so maybe not men because they're not going to get their eyebrows done. Most of them,
and
you know?
start getting rude
Fucking
comments
creepos
and nasty
shit.
comments and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, okay, we're just women.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a bunch of younger gals that maybe just like looking at pretty things, but don't necessarily have the funds or willingness. They just kind of like following you. And so then from there, we were like, okay, well, we need to understand our target market's age.
You start narrowing it down.
And so that, like a funnel, we started narrowing down more. So now we know what our clients essentially look like.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you won't get clients outside of that.
Yeah.
But we know what our clients look like. We know what they like. And so I think had we not done ads, it wouldn't have helped us narrow the target market down.
And that's the thing. We put money into ads, and it's like paying to go to school. You're learning. It's a learning process. So you're paying for it. Like you're not gonna get immediate return every ad you do, but every ad you do, you're gonna get better, and you're gonna get better. And you take that data and you start processing it, and you're gonna get better every time.
And I think, but we have made sure that every time we run it now, we kind of look at the insights, like what worked, what didn't. And then when it doesn't work, because, you know, sometimes you put out the wrong thing or at the wrong time, or maybe you decided to run an ad on a Sunday night, which is the least viewable time.
We've done that.
So we've done that, you know. Yeah. And so you slowly learn, okay, well, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. And to be honest, there's so much information out there. Like, all you got to do is go on Google and Google a lot of this stuff. When's the best time to do an ad? What is everybody looking at? You know what I mean? And the information's out there. You just got to seek it and put it to practice with yourself. And
I think there's a lot of anxiety that comes from not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Right? So, you have to put in an ad. And there's classes for this, okay? So you can take classes that show you how to do ads and how to find your target market.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of anxiety that comes from not knowing what to do. And then so people just go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. There's so many choices.
Well,
but you should figure out what to do. Like, don't just freak out and be like, okay, well, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Take a class. There's a ton of YouTube videos. There's a lot of information out there.
Yeah, there's tons of information out there. And to me, again, it comes being willing to invest in yourself. If you think you can't figure out the information on yourself, there's people out there that teach it. You just have to be willing to invest in it. But when you put your money towards that stuff, you're going to get it back down the road. You're not going to get it back immediately, but you get it back down the road. You just got to seek the information. Sometimes you have to pay for the information, but it's there.
Yeah, and you know what? Like that too, that bugs me when people don't expect to pay anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like, are you serious? These people have honed into their skills. And so basically by not wanting to pay, like you're saying, like your information isn't valuable, but I still want it.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. You're not willing to pay $100 or whatever the price is to get $10,000 back. But you go out to eat and waste that money on something else, but you're not willing to put that money towards your business. That blows my mind right there.
I have a friend of mine who we're so similar. I knew I liked her, and she's like, oh yeah, I took this. I can't remember what the class was. She's like, oh yeah, I took this class. It was like $1,000. And I was like, oh my God, me and you, like, we understand each other.
Yeah.
Because she's willing to put money into learning. And so we were talking about ads, and she's like, oh, I don't know, like, how do you do ads? And like, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Next thing I see her, she's like, oh, I took an ads class. I was like, oh my God, that's like fucking awesome. You don't know, figure it out.
Yeah, but how many girls do we come across that, oh, I tried the ad, I put $10 and nothing, it didn't work.
You know what the perfect number seems to be?
What?
$50.
$50?
Yeah, like $50 is supposed to open the door that you've been trying to unlock, and it's just not working.
No, it's consistency. You got to keep going and keep going. Do 50 a week.
Even that, right? Like,
that's
doing
better
something.
That's better than doing $50 one time and then saying it didn't work. Of course it didn't work. You did it one time.
Yeah. And so I had a friend that too was asking me like about ads, and she's like, well, I don't know, they don't really work for me. And the first thing I always ask, how much are you spending?
Yeah.
First. Second, what are you posting? Oh, it's a picture of you working. Like, that's not going to do very well.
Yeah.
Oh, you posted a picture of your work and then don't have any information, or you're not captivating your audience. It's like it's one of those things you have to keep trying. Okay, well, that didn't work. Let me try something else.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tweak it every time.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it, it didn't work good. Okay, like you said, what did I do wrong? You gotta look at
Exactly.
yourself, what did I do wrong? What can I fix? Also, you guys are following other people on Instagram. You see what they're doing. Go to the top people that you admire, whose pages you like, and see what they're doing, and try to mimic it. You know what I mean?
I think as long as like you have the same target market, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And again, one of the things is like you have to have really good work, because we're service providers, so the service has to be good.
Yeah, it's
Like,
the value. You got to deliver value,
Yeah, but it's like we're saying, you got to invest in yourself, and that's part
Yeah.
of like investing on yourself.
and it's all a learning process. You're gonna spend money, but each time you're gonna learn. You're gonna get faster, better, and stronger each time.
Fuck, my fucking ears hurt.
Yeah, I'm not used to these headphones.
I
They
know,
throw-
right?
They throw
Like
me off.
so this is the first time we use these headphones.
Yeah,
And so if you guys don't know, like I have plugs in my ears, and because my ears are tiny, so the plugs made me look like I have regular ears. But now that shit's hurting my ears. But anyway,
Yeah.
how do you like using the headphones today?
it's all right. I'm not used to it. It throws me off because I can hear myself talking in my head. So it kind of throws me off a little bit. But I think if we keep on doing it, get used to it. I don't know.
Okay.
It seems like all the professionals use it. So maybe
know,
we need to be
right?
professionals.
I know. I just like hearing myself talk.
Yeah, you do. You do.
No, I don't.
Mm.
Anyway,
So speaking of wins this week, what do you feel like a win that you had this week?
you know what? So this week, I had quite a bit of coaching calls, social media audits and stuff. And it was from girls that really, really wanted to learn. Sometimes I get people who want a coaching call.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just like, okay. Like, just listening to me and not asking questions. But this
Yeah.
week, I really feel like everybody really wanted to learn. And they were really excited and writing stuff down. And I kept asking, like, oh, does that make sense? They're like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just writing everything down.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to catching up with them and just kind of seeing what they've been implementing.
Yeah.
I was talking to everybody about their branding, their logos, the way that they're showing up on social media and their website. So I love that shit. Like I feel like I can change the industry if I can just help you.
No, I
you
know. I know that's your jam right there. You like
Oh, I love
helping
it.
people. I know you love it, being able to teach people and help people, and especially when they're receptive.
And that makes a big difference
Yeah.
to me. Because if I see like you're not really interested, you're not asking me questions. I'm just gonna like tell you what I see, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But if you ask me questions about how to do this, I'm not a gatekeeper, so like I will tell you where I go, how I did it, and whatever, and then just implement it, and call me again and let me know how you did, or if you have any other questions.
Yeah, but if you're seeking advice, don't just say, how do you do this?
Yeah,
Like we talked about on the last episode, like
Yeah.
come with some value, ask nicely, make, there's ways to approach people.
there's ways to approach people. Like. As I said, it's going to be the third time we say I'm a little spicy. So if you get on my spicy side because you were just not nice,
Don't do it because then I got to deal with the fucking spice. Please don't.
it's just, and it's the rudeness that gets to me. It's just the fucking rudeness.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you? What's your win today? This week?
This week, I don't know if it's so much a win, but honestly, just doing this podcast, like I enjoy it because I'm learning like the behind the scenes stuff that you have to like. It takes a lot of work to do this.
Yeah.
All just everything, put it on all the platforms, the whole thing that comes with it. You know me, I fucking love learning. So if I'm doing something that's challenging and learning,
Yeah.
I consider it a win. So
And I feel like you're really using your creativity here.
yeah. I enjoy doing the back end stuff. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, I would have no idea. Like I kind of just show up.
Except for when I'm spilling water on everything.
Oh yeah, this morning was
Yeah.
not fun for you.
And I was in the middle of the podcast stuff and I spilled water. Hopefully, I hope we'd go back and my laptop's not broken.
Oh shit! It better not be.
All the files, everything's on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would suck.
I'll flip my table. I'll flip my shit if I go back in my shit.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so
Okay, well, I guess that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed talking or listening to us.
yeah.
So, where can they find you?
You can
Around?
find me on Lee Boy Savage on Instagram.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, brother.
There you go.
And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and leave some comments. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions or any topics you think that would be beneficial, let us know.
And you can find me on Instagram as Vanidosa Beauty and all across the board of Vanidosa Beauty. Also on TikTokies.
And on YouTube at Beautytainment Studios.
Beauty
That's where we
Timid
hold the
Studios.
podcast at. So make sure you guys check it out. We'll have all the links and everything underneath. So check it out.
And then, so next time we'll see you, we'll be after the class in McAllen.
Yeah, and if Claudia's here by herself, then I body slammed her and we're done.
And then I got extra spicy.
She got spicy.
You got too spicy.
Nah, I'm just joking, but cool.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.